Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing a quick comparison of the Xbox One X and Xbox Series S. I want to start with a couple of caveats. I cannot screen cap up to 120 FPS, which this will go to. I can only do a max of 60, so I'm limiting my Series X to 4K 60. And then I also cannot record the HDR because there's no real way for me to show that to you. But I promise you, you definitely need to go, if you're on the fence about either upgrading or not, definitely go take a look at it in the store or somewhere where they have a really nice TV to actually look at the HDR. It looks fantastic on my LG OLED. So starting off with a little bit of Call of Duty on the Series X, and then we're going to switch over to the One X. This is Zombies for Call of Duty Cold War.
Contain the threat.
One less walking corpse.
Here's a split screen view of it with the Series X on the right. You can see the textures are a little bit cleaner and more detail, better colors. But it isn't a different, with all honesty. One thing I do definitely want to point out is there's between the One X and the Series X, if the game isn't optimized, it really doesn't look that different. But the load times are absolutely a big deal. I was getting online with one of my friends. I was loaded up waiting in game. It took him another at least 30 to 40 seconds to get into the game just because of his load times were taking so much longer. And he was in the same game just on the old original Xbox. Alright, switching over to Forza Horizon, this game is also optimized for the Series X/S. It does make a bit of a difference, but the ray tracing on here isn't quite the same as it is on PC, with all honesty. It does look a little bit better on the Series X, but not a whole lot with the One X enhancements. Now, if you're on the original Xbox, it is a huge difference. This is also a caveat that you have to have something that could actually use that. I mean, a lot of people don't have 4K TVs that can go up to 120 Hertz, or monitors that can go up to 120 Hertz, or HDR monitors if you got a cheaper TV, or they're playing on a 1440p gaming monitor. A lot of things aren't going to take advantage of that power unless you have one of the better setups.
In 400 yards, turn right.
So now I want to try an older game. So here is Black Ops 3, and I really don't notice that much of it. It feels smoother on my TV. It feels smoother. I feel like I'm playing at a higher FPS. They had mentioned upscaling in some of their like shows and whatever about the Series X, but I don't personally notice it. If I put it did a side by side, maybe like screen cap of just an individual frame and go to pick it out, I might notice it better. There is definitely a little bit more detail if you really look closely at the leaves of the fern, but really not much at all. But the load times are much faster, so it is still better for playing older Xbox games than the actual Xbox One. But this is also because I am running a One X versus a original One or One S, which can actually output 4K for actual gaming. Here is Warzone. This one really didn't notice that much of a difference at all. That's because I think it's more of an online game, so that's probably why I didn't notice as much. But there was very little difference between the actual quality. The FPS is definitely higher on a 4K TV, but if you're playing on like a 1440p monitor, you're really not going to notice that much of a difference at all. All right, and finally, here's some Minecraft. So this one is more of an interesting case of it is the version for the Series X, but there are no enhancements currently. So they've been saying they are going to do some enhancements, and they are going to bring ray tracing to the Xbox version, which will look fantastic. I mean, I've done it on my PC, and it does look really, really good having the ray tracing. I love it, but it does take a lot of power. So they are going to need to make some definite enhancements and sort of optimizations, or else it's just not going to run well. They have not said an exact date at the current moment when they're going to be doing a it's like actual release, but that's to be determined.